I remember when I started in the magic field, you'd speak to people and they say, just learn 5 tricks and know them really well. Just those 5 tricks. And there is a truth in it. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's an absolute truth, but there is something about knowing your stuff, knowing those 5 tricks really well. I think that's your mattress. I think that's your baseline. I think that's the springboard that should spring you further forward. But it's funny because the truth in that really, I think, is about understanding and developing a repertoire. And your repertoire can be bigger than that, and actually should be bigger than that, because as you and I both know, quite often you can be in a gig that is booked for an hour, and you end up being there for 3 or 4 hours because it was a fun party, or it was just worth hanging about, or they were a nice crowd, or there's some problem that you have to deal with, and suddenly you're entertaining when you didn't think you were. And so you've got to actually be versatile. So, but the basis of it, I think, it's that core, and that's why it's so hard to introduce new effects, because they always seem to need to replace something that it's got to be good enough to replace the thing that you already did, or in addition to the thing that you already do.
Yeah, I would agree with you that a lot of people do say, and I understand why they say, learn 5 tricks really, really well. I get that, but that alone isn't the answer. It's like saying to someone, learn 5 phrases in Italian really, really well, and then go to Italy.
Yeah. It's a good starting
great start.
point. Yeah, exactly. It's a good starting point.
That's the beginning of the language.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've got to know how to navigate your way around the language. And magic is not just like it's not stuck in on one level. It has its own. You've got to understand it on many different levels, socially and technically and misdirection, and you've got to know. I think to become a member of the Magic Circle, there are certain things we require, and I think they are the bare minimum of what you need to know. And I would say, rather than just 5 tricks, it's a bit like playing the piano. You need to know your scales. You need to know your arpeggios. You need to know your theory. And I believe the same applies to any professional magician. They need to have worked in the basics of the basic moves required. There can be certain moves, things like, I won't say, but certain moves which take an object from hand to hand, successfully using misdirection and various other principles and things. They're like the scales and the arpeggios in magic and in music, rather, and that's important. And they are that learning the language of the art form is what's really even more baseline than learning your 5 tricks.